She swore he was just a friend. Until I caught them together, I need to vent because I'm losing my mind over this. My girlfriend, who called her best friend family, admitted to a drunken hookup with him before we were official. When he returned from abroad, his girlfriend caught them kissing. I'm a 29-year-old guy, and I need advice to navigate this mess. This is going to be a long post, but I need to share every detail to give you the full picture. I met Sarah, 28, at a local music festival last year through our mutual friend, Tom. She was by the stage in a retro band tee, and we bonded over our love for alternative music. The connection was instant, like we'd been friends forever. We swapped numbers and started hanging out with the same crowd. For the next 6 months, we were in this undefined space, somewhere between friends and something more. We weren't officially a couple, but we acted like one. Constant texts, deep conversations about our lives, and even exchanging, "I love you." We'd spend weekends cooking, binge-watching shows, and being completely comfortable together. Sarah said she wasn't ready for a relationship because she was recovering from a bad breakup. In hindsight, that was a warning sign I missed. During this time, I met most of her friends except for Jake, her best friend since high school. Sarah talked about Jake endlessly. They'd been close since their teenage years, went to the same university, and she described him as family. She shared stories about how Jake supported her through her family's tough times or how she was there for him during his dad's illness. Their bond seemed special, and I respected it based on her stories. When we finally became official after 6 months, Sarah dropped a bombshell. She confessed that a month before we got together, she and Jake had a drunken one-night stand after a friend's party. She said it was a mistake they both regretted and swore to never mention again. She claimed she told me because she wanted transparency in our relationship. This happened right before Jake moved to London for a job, which she insisted was unrelated. She swore it was a one-time thing and that Jake was like a brother to her. I was hurt, but since we weren't exclusive at the time, I tried to let it go. With Jake moving across the ocean, I figured it wouldn't matter. Sarah and Jake kept in touch after his move, having long phone calls every few weeks to catch up on life, their old friend group, and his experiences abroad. I noticed Sarah seemed off after these calls, but I assumed she just missed her friend. Our relationship was otherwise amazing. We moved in together after 8 months, got a dog together, and started planning a future. Sarah got along well with my family, especially my cousin, who's her age. We had regular date nights, took weekend getaways, and everything felt perfect. 3 months ago, Jake announced he was returning to our city for a new job. Sarah was thrilled and spent days planning a welcome-back dinner, obsessing over the menu and tidying our place. She couldn't stop talking about how excited she was to have her best friend nearby again. The dinner was when things unraveled. Jake brought his British girlfriend, Emma, 30, who he'd met in London. Emma was stunning, a pediatric nurse with fascinating stories about her work and travels across Europe. She was warm and made an effort to connect with Sarah, but Sarah acted strange all night. She barely ate the meal she'd worked so hard on. Whenever Emma touched Jake's hand or laughed at his stories, Sarah's face would tighten. She kept interrupting Emma with old anecdotes about Jake from their school days, as if proving she knew him better. After they left, Sarah made odd comments about Emma, saying Jake usually dated more driven women or that Emma seemed too ordinary for him. When I defended Emma, pointing out her impressive career, Sarah snapped, accusing me of being into her. Things went downhill from there. Sarah started spending more time on her phone, always messaging someone. If I entered the room, she'd quickly hide her screen. She began staying late at work or meeting up with old friends she never mentioned before. Our relationship changed. Sarah grew distant and irritable. She stopped sharing details about her day like she used to. When we were together, she seemed distracted, like her mind was elsewhere. If I brought it up, she'd call me paranoid or overbearing. Last week, she said she had to work late again. I was at my office when Emma called me, sobbing. She'd gone home early with a headache and found Sarah and Jake kissing on her sofa. There was a huge argument, and Emma ended things with Jake on the spot. I've tried calling Sarah, leaving voicemails that got angrier each time, but she hasn't responded. I texted Jake too, but got no reply from either of them. The worst part is living in our shared apartment, surrounded by Sarah's things, our dog, our memories. I feel like a fool. Those late-night calls, the sudden work emergencies, the friend dinners, it all adds up now. I keep replaying how Sarah insisted Jake was like family. Was she lying from the start? Was I just a placeholder until Jake returned? The lease is a nightmare since we just renewed it together. I'm sitting here, surrounded by her stuff and our shared life, feeling like everything's collapsed. I need advice. Should I wait for Sarah to explain herself? Should I pack her things? What about the lease? Any help is welcome. Edit. Thanks for the support and advice. I'm taking time to process before deciding anything. I'll update with any new developments. Update 1. Thank you all for the kind words and guidance. They've helped me through these rough days. A lot has happened and it's all bad. Emma reached out yesterday, asking to meet for coffee because she had information I needed to hear. We met at a quiet cafe and Emma looked drained, like she hadn't slept. She apologized for how she told me about the incident over the phone, then shared details that made everything worse. Apparently, Jake started acting odd after our dinner. He guarded his phone, worked late more often, and was always texting. Emma noticed Sarah's name popping up a lot, but didn't think much of it since Jake always described Sarah as his best friend. Then Emma showed me messages she found on Jake's tablet. Sarah had been calling him almost daily, often during her lunch breaks or when she told me she was at work. They'd been planning meetups for weeks. Emma found texts from the day after our dinner where Sarah said she couldn't stop thinking about Jake, and that seeing him with Emma made her realize her feelings never faded. There were even messages about meeting at a hotel 2 weeks ago when Sarah claimed she was at a work conference. I felt nauseous reading them. Emma explained how she caught them. She'd gone home early with a migraine and found Sarah and Jake kissing on her sofa. It was clear this wasn't their first time. When confronted, Jake said he and Sarah had unresolved feelings they needed to explore, like it was some grand love story. Sarah, however, just grabbed her bag and left without a word. Emma kicked Jake out that night. Sarah's sister, Lisa, came by yesterday to grab some of Sarah's stuff. Lisa tried to defend her, saying Sarah and Jake had a complex history that predated both Emma and me. She said they'd always loved each other but never got the timing right. When I asked why Sarah didn't just wait for Jake instead of dating me, Lisa shrugged and said, "Life's complicated sometimes." I lost it, told her to take all of Sarah's things and to make sure Sarah never contacts me again. I boxed up everything, clothes, books, mementos. I found a notebook of hers but didn't read it. I'm not sinking to their level. The lease situation worked out. I spoke to the landlord, and since Sarah never updated her address officially, her name isn't on the renewed lease. Small wins, I guess. Emma and I talked for hours at the cafe. She moved here from London for Jake, leaving her family, friends, and a great job. Now she's stranded in a new country with no support. We both feel foolish for missing the signs. Those late calls, the work excuses, the way they acted at dinner. It's so clear now. Mutual friends have been a nightmare. Some say I should hear Sarah's side. Others defend her, claiming old feelings can resurface, and it's not really cheating if it's true love. One friend even said Emma and I should be more empathetic because Sarah and Jake have a unique bond. I blocked them all. The hardest part is living in our apartment, surrounded by reminders of our life together. Every photo, gift, or moment feels tainted. Was she thinking of Jake during our trips? When we got our dog? When she said she loved me? Emma said something that hit hard. We're not victims of love or fate, but of selfish people too weak to be honest and too careless to avoid hurting others. I'm angry, but mostly exhausted. Exhausted from thinking about it, from finding more proof of their betrayal, from friends picking sides. I just want to move on, but it's tough when your whole relationship feels like a lie. I'm focusing on work and staying busy. I changed the locks and blocked Sarah's number. The dog stays with me. I was the one who cared for him anyway. I'll update if anything big happens, but for now, I need time to heal. Edit. Thanks again for the support. Your comments make me feel less insane. Update 2. I didn't expect to write another update, but things have shifted. Thank you all for the encouragement. It's helped me through some dark days. Emma and I stayed in touch, meeting for coffee regularly to talk about our shared mess. It's been comforting to have someone who gets it. Last month, Emma's lease was ending, and she was planning to return to London. She couldn't afford her place alone, and the betrayal left her feeling isolated. My apartment felt too empty since Sarah left, so I offered Emma the spare room until she figured things out. It made financial sense, and we become close friends. Living with Emma has been great. She's tidy, thoughtful, and actually helps around the house, unlike Sarah. We stay up late talking about everything from our exes to our dreams and families. She's helped me spot red flags I ignored with Sarah, and I've supported her through her pain over Jake. Last week, Sarah finally reached out with a long email. She said she never meant to hurt anyone, and that she and Jake had a deep connection since high school they were too afraid to act on. Seeing Jake with Emma made her realize she couldn't suppress her feelings. She said they're now together, living in Jake's place, and asked for my forgiveness, hoping I'd understand that love is messy. I didn't reply. There's nothing to say. They're perfect for each other. Jake sent Emma flowers with a melodramatic note about fate and true love. Emma laughed, tossed the flowers and note in the trash, and we ordered takeout and watched movies instead. Our mutual friends are absurd. The one siding with Sarah posts sappy quotes about soulmates, tagging her and Jake, calling them couple goals and saying some loves are worth fighting for. Emma and I just ignore it. Living together showed us how much we settled in our past relationships. Emma shared how Jake made her feel insecure about her accent or mocked her British habits. I told her how Sarah belittled my passions. It's nice to be with someone who listens and cares. Emma got a great job at a local children's hospital, impressed by her London experience with a better salary. She's making new friends through work, and I've introduced her to my friends who didn't side with Sarah. We've settled into a routine, cooking grocery runs, even starting a Sunday jogging habit. My dog loves her, which is funny since he never warmed to Sarah. One of Sarah's friends saw us at a restaurant and later posted that we were being petty and seeking revenge by hanging out. We laughed it off. We're just two people hurt by those we trusted, trying to move forward. Living with Emma is drama-free, with no hidden motives, just genuine friendship. She's introduced me to British sitcoms and makes great coffee. Some might find it odd that we're roommates, but it works for us. We're healing together, and sometimes the worst situations lead to unexpected bonds. I'll update if anything major happens, but for now, life feels normal again. Edit. Thanks for the continued support. It means a lot. Update 3. I never imagined I'd write this update, but life surprises you. Thanks to everyone who's supported me through this journey. Kate and I have grown incredibly close over the past few months. It happened slowly, almost without us noticing. Movie nights turned into cozy evenings on the sofa. Our jogs ended with long brunches and deeper talks. We started holding hands during errands without thinking about it. 3 months ago, after a relaxed dinner at home, we opened up about our feelings. It wasn't planned, but we both felt the same spark. We decided to date, knowing it might be tricky but worth trying. Dating Emma is nothing like my time with Sarah. There's no tension, no secrets, no second guessing. Emma is upfront about her thoughts and needs. We resolve issues by talking, not avoiding them. It's refreshing to be with someone who prioritizes honesty. Last week I proposed. It wasn't a grand gesture, just us at home after a typical day, cooking and laughing over a British comedy she got me into. I'd been carrying the ring for weeks, waiting for the right moment. That ordinary evening felt perfect. She said yes immediately, and we spent the night calling our families. Her parents are flying in soon to meet everyone, and my family loves her. My cousin, who never liked Sarah, thinks Emma's amazing. Word spread quickly. Sarah heard through friends and sent another email, accusing us of dating to spite her and Jake. She claimed our relationship couldn't be real because it started from pain. We didn't respond. Some say we're moving fast, but when you've seen each other at your lowest and still choose each other, it means something. Emma is everything Sarah wasn't: honest, supportive, and truly kind. She cheers for my wins without making them about her. We're planning a simple wedding next spring, likely in a park, blending American and British touches. Her parents are helping plan, and my mom treats Emma like family. A year ago, I was broken, thinking Sarah's betrayal ended my world. Now I'm happier than ever. Emma and I joke about sending Sarah and Jake a thank you note. If they hadn't been so awful, we might not have found each other. Pain led to something beautiful, and we're stronger for it because we've been through the same hurt and choose honesty every day. Thank you all for your support. Your words carried me through the darkest times. This is my final update. Emma and I are building our future, leaving the past behind. Edit. Thanks for the congratulations and kind words. You're incredible.